Gotta adjust my microphone a little bit, and yep, my microphone is picking up, not muted. Twitch is going. Twitter is going. Kick is going. Rumble is going. And YouTube is going. Looks like everything's going there. Let me open up the whatchamacallit, the live chat windows. And looks like everything's going good there. I think everything's good to go. Let me disable the preview over here to save some resources. And let me double check my other computer, make sure it's good over there. And looks like everything's good over here. All I want to get is a drink from Blue. And there we go. It's Friday. I can have a late afternoon energy drink. And let's go ahead and find a good game. Ideally a good game. Let's see. Got a clan tag here. That's more or less my basic way of trying to determine if it's good skill level. That would at least be okay. Brief glimpse. Got one here. Somebody's sort of expecting maybe it's good. Pretty high rated. I say that's a good way to start off with. Only 6 minutes, so it's not necessarily going to be a long game. Let's just hope it's a good game. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Mythology replay. Spawn bottom left side as the blue Hades, got Bodneck. Spawn top right side as the red Hades, we got Ice Fox DOD. Oh, I'm a metal Mongol fox, so I'm definitely out of my element, especially seeing how snowy it is. It is a Hades mirror matchup. I tend not to like the mirror matchup. Of course, that is the nature of spectating live games. You never know what you're going to get. In this case, Hated Mirrors. Hopefully it's going to be good. It may be a bit of a mirror match. Well, there is a mirror matchup, but hopefully they go for different minor gods, a way to spice up a little bit. First, I think ketchup's a pretty good spice. Either way, Scout does scout the scout, as well as the scout does knows the scout, and red does obtain the goats. They are, of course, the goat. Are condiments a spice? My stupid question today. It's like asking a cereal soup. Blue does steal some goats there. He may escort them on home. Of course, Scout has horrible DPS. The villager offers actual DPS there. And looks like the red does seize the scout goats back. And the villager did do some good shanking. 6 DPS versus just Scout's just less than 1. The scout is meant for scouting, as well as yelling for a dispenser. We do have Athena being deployed, which gives access to the Minotaur, also going for Ajax. Red is not queued up his minor god just yet. Also, long distance harvesting the berries. We got a late age up here. How is there such a big villager difference? Oh, because the age up, of course. So Blue's purposely eyeing for a late age up, aging up to Ares, which actually you don't see Ares all too often. Let's see. Ares. I forgot there was a way to pull up. Oh, wait. Oh wait, the gods are aging up. Let's see. Gives access to Spear of Phobos, which is some sort of spear upgrade. Oh yeah, he has a sword upgrade for the infantry and the bow of horse. So I think he does upgrade a decent number of Infantry upgrades. I don't remember all the infantry upgrades. When I was growing up, I always just pick minor gods for the myth units. Got Norn Minotaur taking some decent damage there. Ajax is, of course, the anti-myth unit hero. Red's Ajax is here as well with a relic. Has picked up the Scare Pendant. Brush damage.
Prostagma?
Blue's Ajax here has Demeter's Throne. Drop sites, ox carts, and housing are cheaper and build faster. Villager here getting hit by the scout and by Achilles. The Minotaur here could chuck the scout. They've taken a lot of hit there. Will be picked off by these heroes. Blue's Achilles here does take out Ajax. Cyclops is down. And Norn the Minotaur is still alive. And Achilles, of course, Matt has 5.5 move speed, or that's the scout. Looks like Achilles has 4.5. That probably because it's just the bit of snare effect, maybe. Looks like Blue's Achilles will win. Oh, howdy. Sorry, I just saw your comment. I was got too focused on the hero fighting.
Etimos.
Or hero infighting. And looks like the normal move speed is for Achilles 5.3. Of course, Blue does have access to the very powerful god power of Pestilence, and Red has a very powerful god power of Restoration. Both of these god powers are pretty good. Pestilence is a little bit harder to use, honestly. It's useful to support an assault to deny the reinforcements. Restoration can be pretty much used anywhere that you have a big or small force engaged and you just want to make sure it stays alive. Norn Minotaur could be focused on by Achilles. It looks like Blue's going to try to obtain Achilles, or maybe not. Looks like Red Achilles will win. Blue's Achilles will go down. And the thing as well, being left in Wounded State means he's not going to be useful in the next fight. He won. Congratulations, you won. You will lose next fight. Congratulations, winning means you will lose. Blue's not going for Achilles and going for some Pippus. And Red is obtaining some caribou, reindeer. My opinion, during the wintertime, they should probably have a unique reindeer model with a red nose that can occasionally spawn. Norn the Minotaur is taking some damage there. Achilles on intercept. And they'll slice up that caribou. Or at least get a gash into it. Both players obtain additional talents in it. Both players at 31 villagers. So regardless. Oh, and there's. Wait, did Achilles just go down to the boar? Like I said, he was going to lose the next fight, but I didn't think he was going to get gored by a boar. Man, Pumbaa was really angry there.
Πρόσταγμα.
Another Achilles on the build queue.
Πρόσταγμα.
Got, of course, Achilles and Hippus here. Hippus do move slightly faster than Achilles at 5.5 rather than 5.3. But still adequate enough. Additionally as well, if a... You know, now think about it, I'm sort of surprised Blue didn't pop his Sentinels. Both players have access to Sentinels, and Sentinels would have made a pretty easy win in this region. Sentinels is an anti-raiding tool, not anti-armor tool, an anti-raiding tool. Pop out Sentinels here, could protect himself over here. Looks like that villager will go down. This villager needs to run away. After all, Sentinels are basically equal to guard towers. I think they're actually a little bit weaker. Don't know exactly off the top of my head. But if I'm comparing the guard towers, they're not going to be good versus the army. There's the Sentinels there. They have 20 damage, half attack speed, and 20 range. I think Watchtower, I can't remember what Watchtowers have. Neither player has got the Watchtower upgrade. Oh, Red's going for the Watchtower. Aphrodite being queued up. Give access to Nemean Lion. And looks like the output tower does provide 5 times 2. So they have effectively the same DPS. Same range. Of course, Sentinels have the same minimum range. Or actually, it has no minimum range. Let's see, what do we have here as well? 750 health and 250. Yeah, they are in fact inferior to watchtowers. And like I said, they're useful to help protecting yourself from raiders. That's about it. Do not spam out this god power to deal with against armies. It will not work. Because one, they're all spread out. I always love how the fact that it's effectively an infantry model or a Toxidae model that's on top of a pedestal that rotates around. You can see by the square rotating with the model. It's probably just reskin Toxidae. After I execute on up, got Soracia, increasing Hoplite's range by 0.5 and melee damage by 50%. And as Blue got no barracks, no nothing. Well, no Cyclopes upgrades. What was called Eris upgrades. It's good damage on these villagers. Does take out one there, but he is taking a lot of extra damage from these sentinels. Do not have Aphrodite being queued on up, as well as Aphrodite queued on up. 75. Oh, another 75 in total. So it looks like they're going to be aging up relatively the same time. I think Red will get his first, going for even the Labyrinth of Minos. Hoplite does get picked off there, so does one of Blue's villagers. Right now, Blue has 54 villagers, Red has 55. So, effectively the same. Ajax getting hit by Ajax. A couple more Red Hoplites push way forward. Both players now aged up. Now both players can now summon a curse. And curse his opponent out. Also allows usage of swear words, I think. Nemean Lion here. Nemean Lion does have 4.8 movement speed. Hoplites who have 4.3. Ajax is here to help deal with the Nemean Lion. Does stun the formation. Villagers here trying to establish a forward fortress. Livix vulnerable there. Scout just hitting those units. Not a big problem. Blue summons the curse to save the fortress. And yep, he will. Quite a investment with curse. There's a decent number of piggies there that can wee all the way to the new home. Villagers getting hit here. And of course, Achilles is a hero, not a mounted hero, so anti-cavalry damage won't do much there. Fortress is 50 seconds upon completion, out of 110. And Red summons his curse, and there's a good number of piggies there. So it looks like Red's going to be eating quite well. Red also deploys out some of his own Toxidaes. We do have... Oh, and looks like Blue one headed back out of the game. As Angerade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Relatively short replay. What was I thinking? It wasn't... Mine's a little bit mush at the moment. Let's see now. Let's try to find a replay. Too short or too low of a rank? No, just start from the longest. Which tend to be not great. Because a lot of lower level players don't know how to properly assault. Or reinforce. Here we go, we'll do Coffee Night. Oh, it spawned my camera off the side. Greetings everyone, Angerade here for another Age Mythology replay. Spawn on the bottom side as the blue Gaia, we have Coffee Night. Spawn on the north side as the red Zeus, we got Dawn. We got some hippopotamuses. Hippopotamuses are some of the most deadliest animals in the world.
Yuji.
Either way, when it comes to relics on this map, we do have the Wuho Bow of Hungdi. It provides a bit of a snare effect for your ranged soldiers, which is quite nice. Useful for both Atlanteans and for the Greeks. Ed Orcus improves your line of sight by 8, which is okay. Nothing too spectacular, but it's always nice to have. Exotic Dog is protecting the bridle of Pegasus, give you freeze Pegasus, which is always quite nice, regardless of what civilization you've gone for. And looks like the last relic is very safe up north for red. So the red relic is the Trojan Gate Hinge. Give him his walls plus 40% hit points, which is always quite nice. Looks like red is already eyeing Athena to get access to Minotaur. Of course, needs a little bit more food at this exact moment. More hippopotamuses being obtained. I wonder how hippopotamus taste in real life. Red has obtained some goats. Blue is here, seeing the goats, but does not see the goats. And we do have Oceanus queued on up, give access to Claudra and Servant. Athena will be researched first, we'll give access to what am I thinking? Restoration as well as the Minotaur. Well, Oceanus will give access to the Carnivora. Athena has been completed. Norm the Minotaur, of course, deployed in the field. Jason bringing a relic.
Scopos.
Oracle heading to the corner of the map. Could be picked off there. I wonder if red. Yep, Norm the Minotaur is heading up north. He saw it walk by. It was probably a moment where Jason walked by it. I wonder how much. He will see the corner there. Yeah, you can see the flag that he's tacked there. So he saw the Oracle there, and he, of course, is at one of the 4 corners of Earth. Take that glow card. Oracle over here. So taking out the Oracles does deny favor, which is pretty useful. And got some more Gaia's Force being summoned. Does allow his citizens collect up faster here at 1.73. I think normal is like 1.32? I can't remember. It's about 50% faster if I remember correctly, which I probably am remembering incorrectly. We do have some counter barracks being deployed in the field. Points of various research, including survival equipment. Increased village hit points, especially for the citizens, it's always quite nice. Red has obtained a good number of goats, 14. Blue has 12. That's a Claudra up there. We'll spot the rhinoceros going on down. Getting some delicious rhinoceros meat. Has 650 food stored inside of it. And I do have some cherry ballista on field. I do like cherry ballista. We do have some military academies, so cherry ballista is going to be a very good call. Cherry ballista are, of course, the counter infantry unit, but right now he is out of population space. Needs some manners.
Yuji.
Will it be good manners or bad manners? Just need some manners. Various research going up. We do have the channels upgrade, improving the giving its creep bonus. And watchtowers. In red, we'll go ahead and wall in this little bit area. Won't protect them all too much, just a bit of delicious gazelle. But could prime himself up for a bit of a trade path. I wonder as well, you can trade yourself to a village center. I always wonder if there's any trade reduction going to a village center. If not, people should eye for the village center just to get a little extra income. We'll take a bit extra time, but an extra village queue never hurts. Sorassia being queued on up. Got Hercules as well. Scout is almost dead. Best to use Restoration to get it up to full health, right?
Yuji?
Kapapaltis. Kapapaltis are actually surprisingly nimble, and with the creep benefits of Gaia, can easily be a good defensive unit. While Oranos has a good speed bonus off. Doesn't have Lush. So, and Oranos just have a generally good fast variant of it. Scout is down, not big surprise. Some heroic chariot ballista. Counter infantry and counter cavalry doesn't just lack in counter range. Good in barracks here, but he's not eyeing deployment, going for a round of Turmas. And we do have actually some Turmas now, so Blue's just going to counter force without properly knowing what his opponent's going for. Spoiler alert, he has gone for nothing right now. He has 7 military population in the field, which is probably the heroes and Norm the Minotaur. There's the Pegasus there from the relic, very nice. And now Red has a free scout. Or a flying scout. Plus, I'm going to just mention something again. I mentioned this beforehand. I love how they updated the Pegasus model from Gold Edition. Now you can see it's trying to gallop on an invisible plane, as well as flapping its wings. Don't know if it did that beforehand, never really paid close enough attention. Overall, I do believe Retold was very good in most aspects. The only things I'll say Retold did not do a good job is the recasting the voice actors and the redoing the lines. Even the original voice actors, I believe they did a good job compared to the previous time. I am well aware that some of the voice actors, such as Ajax voice actor, has passed away, so a recast somewhat makes sense, or reuse voice lines. And I'm also, based on the performance, more in the field of which they would just reuse the voice lines, because the new VA tried to do a poor Kron compression, while Ajax has more of his own. Didn't really have an impression of anybody else, but that's just my opinion. Zeus is now aging up to Dionysus. And we do have now medium range sword as well for the Atlantean.
Skopos?
Blue's now advancing way forward. Got a bunch of counter units versus Quadra got sniped. I have no idea who will win this fight. I think actually Red will win this fight. These are counter units and they will counter not this force. These guys do attack pretty slow, so the DPS is not great. Turmos also attack even slower. And their DPS is even lower. Yeah, 3.4 DPS is effectively Slinger DPS. But they are mounted, so they're relatively agile. Same as these guys. We do have now the Aegis Shield, as well as more Hypasus and Peltas, Toxides, and Odysseus. That is a massive number of Chariot Ballista. Chariot Ballista are also a counter unit. They do have relatively similar DPS. Of course, they're the counter infantry unit. They do offer good range resist. They have 160 health, so they're actually not too durable, honestly. There are a couple heroes or myth units here. Gets good volley there. But I think the Hypasus were overall a good call. Hydra does take a bit of damage there. Got more Turmos in the build queue. And Peltas is pushing the way forward, focus on the Chariot Ballista. Trader ballista are classified as range as well as siege units, so they are countered by villagers and by peltas. And red's gone for early donkey caravans. That is something I was not expecting. I have not sat down and took a look at how efficient they are compared to villagers collecting gold. Granted, markets are cheap, and it's always nice to have them. And especially when the game goes on, you have a maximum limit of 60, right? Yep, they do still consume one population, so I don't know if the junk caravans are a good idea. They are pretty expensive, aren't they, as well? 125 as opposed to regular villagers 50. I know there's a relic that can make the caravans faster and cheaper, and that may be the good time to actually deploy out early caravans. But this, I don't know.
Ετοίμος.
Turmo is pretty forward. Good number of Peltas here. Peltas counter Turmo. Turmo counter Peltas. Pop Light's getting hit as well as Hercules. Oh wait, we got the Trader God power. Use Trader on the Hydra. Carnivore and does use and bolts the Carnivore but not the converted Hydra. Restoration now floating field. But feels like red in a good position. Villagers migrating over there. Norman Minotaur blocks his head. The Trader Hydra does go down. And blue has fallen back. Definitely bolted the wrong target, though I actually never really compared a Carnivore to a Hydra. It maybe bolting the Carnivore was a better option than bolting the Hydra. It's hard to say. Carnivore actually got quite a bit of buff in this game. They still can vor individual infantry units every so often, but they do actually have a bit more higher DPS. I have like 6 vines to attack with. We do now have a fortress now being built. So now Red has technology for aging up. It is going to be protecting this gold deposit. Maybe? I don't know. The early donkey caravans. I do like seeing them. I have not really casted replays where somebody goes in early donkey caravans or any early caravans. Red is starting to eat some delicious goats. And looks like we got a fast mythic for Gaia, or faster mythic. Going for Hecate, give access to Lampetes and to the Tartarian Gate. Tartarian Gate is very powerful the earlier you get it, because it's harder to deal with in small forces. You have to send off your full army towards it. Who's now eyeing for a palace over here. Has a palace back here, so destroyers are available. Lampetes is a pretty fun myth unit, though they did get changed. Rather than permanently make something Mother Nature, now just provides the frenzy effect, and I don't know if that's permanent or not. And plus she can be upgraded as well to polymorph units into chickens, and I think that's permanent. So it's basically insta-kill and has 2 sources of insta-kill. Orichalcum now being deployed on the field. I would say Orichalcum is the gold titanium alloy rather than some sort of mythical alloy. Metropolis there, got decent force here. Another palace has been established there. We may see some Fnatic play. I don't know why, that just screams like he's going to go for Fanatics. He's going for a counter army, has counter infantry and counter range at the moment. So I guess the best thing Red could do is deploy out some cavalry. And looks like Zeus has queued up Hera, give access to Medusa and to Lightning Storm. We have some destroyers here, just Dark Age destroyers though. Damage on the palace. Perfectly going down. Another carnivore has been summoned. Does wars when the high pass or the pell pass.
Πρόσταγμα.
Hoplites. There are heavy hoplites there versus heavy Terma. Of course, pell pass does counter Terma. Terma counters pell pass. Heavy turbo, so it just doesn't counter either. Heavy range not being researched. There's frontline heroes giving infantry reduced food and gold costs. Oh no, that's just promoting to hero. And of course, Gaia has aged up to Hecate, so we'll have access to the Lampedes. Don't see our first Lampedes there. Got medium destroyers in the field. A fair amount of damage there from the Petropolos. Repairing up. Hyena has been hit, so he may be trying to bite some stuff. She's there. Trying on the far side of the fortress there. Free Hecate is still right there with Oracle. Hecate could be very useful right now. Palace has gone down. And Titan Gate, or Tartarus Gate, has been summoned right there. That's probably a pretty good spot to help engage everything in this region. And the Petrobolos immediately being cast to the Tartarus Gate. Lampede is now engaging. Looks like she has a relatively large wind-up time there. She does offer a good range damage and good divine damage, plus she does explode. Slow attack speed though, but she does have multiple instant kills effectively. Tartaran spawn now moving back here. Does Trader one of the Petrobolos. Petrobolos takes out the Boom Petrobolos there, very good. Let's leave one. Tartarus Gate having a bit of trouble there. He needs to focus down this converted Petrobolos. It's clearly a traitor. Tartarus Gate is hitting some fire. Jason, Hercules, as well as Odysseus, so they can help deal with the spawn. Takes out the Petrobolos there, just leaving this Tartarus Gate alive. He's over here. Of course, got a fortress here to engage the various Terma. Now the Petrobolos here. I think the Tartarus Gate will be going on down. He also has to blow out Bellerophon, or however you pronounce his name. Lampede is getting hit there, and the frenzied hoplite there was focused here as well. A big round of research there. We do have Olympian weapons, get Myriad Arms, plus 1 melee damage, get 100% melee damage against myth units. Though ranged myth units cup resistant. Do have the Behemoth there. That may be a fresh one. Yeah, looks like Blue's actually deploying on Behemoths. As well, destroyers. Maybe that's a little bit too much heavy anti or siege damage. More Gaia Force being summoned. We've got good enough Peltas here. Which will be countered by the Terma, and the Terma will be countered by the Peltas. Peltas will be a good counter to the Terma. And the infinite loop. There goes one of the Behemoths, got ripped apart there. Another Carnivore summoned on top of the Peltas. Wait, I thought he queued up Hera. Looks like he actually swapped over to Hepatis. Got a drink with the Platybolts. I think that's the one that's meant for drink. So this is counterforced by Blue, and not been too impressed, honestly. More Lampedes deploying with you. Villagers shanking the Heliopoli. As Heliopoli engages in his palace. These are Fanatics overall. Fanatics are anti-infantry, anti-cavalry. And it looks like Blue does back the game. Yeah, it appears to be the counterplay was not a good play. Zangrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Both for those Xbox, so let's not do that one. That should be reasonable enough. It's also a pretty long game. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age Mythology replay. Spawn on the top left side is the blue Kronos. We got Flames with a lowercase z. Spawn on the bottom or just right side is the red Oranos. We got Toenail. I pushed both of the names well enough. We do have, of course, for some relics, got the Skeleton Echidna. Makes her myth units cheaper in everything but favor. You just need to get Pandora's Box. Hectic's torches there. Makes your god powers cost less, 10% less favor, and have 10% reduced cooldown. Very fun indeed. And we do got the Kethra of Apollo, making villagers move 10% faster. Useful for citizens. And we do have the Ship of Fingernails, just give you a 0.5 food trickle rate. Useful for everybody.
Herr Joes.
Since the early eco phase, might as well just fast forward a little bit. Let's see now. Will we see anything other than Prometheans? Because it seems like Oranos and Kronos both tend to go for Prometheans. I do like automatons, but Kronos can go for that. Oranos can also go for Oceanus, get Caladria, which is always quite reasonable. Been a long time since the last seen automatons, which in Atlantean Mirror probably not super great, though they can repair themselves and rebuild themselves. Red is obtain a heroic oracle, which obtain a ship of fingernails, and blue's going for a proxy temple, time shifting forward his temple, aging up to Prometheus. Let's see if he'll get Bob on his top side as well. And Oranos has not queued up anybody just yet. We'll almost have enough food. Has temple. Can get the age up. And going for Oceanus. So we'll see Caladrias versus Promethean spawns. Good number of villagers here. Nice thing about Promethean as well, the Valor God power is also incredibly nice. Blue's Oracle is scouting out everything. Deconstructs the temple, which means he will not get the free Caladria until that gets rebuilt. Of course, you do get a full refund. Valor there, so the Oracle's taking time to shank the citizen. One of these citizens is fully heroic. There it is. You may want to get the citizens to fight the Prometheans. This citizen's doing their part. This citizen's taking severe damage. Got a Oracle there. You may want to stand and fight. Wait. Oracle got inside of the town center. That's definitely a misclick. Evacuate the Oracle.
Bure.
Good hop around there. Got a good number of Promethean spawn. And one more Promethean in general.
Yuji.
Oracle can fight. There's a Caladria. And Oceanus now fully deployed in the field. Slows down one of the Promethean.
Bure.
The Oracle should be fighting.
Scopos.
Focus on the wounded villager. Takes out the wounded villager. Very nice. Caladria gets a nice heal. And overall, the Promethean assault has been very effective. Probably sort of wonder, shouldn't Promethean cost wood? It's supposed to be like a clay unit, right? Say our slow rise from the clay of the first. So food, it seems inaccurate. And I always felt like they should be made out of wood, since wood's also another term for building material. And let's just be frank, a lot of structures have a lot of stone go along with the wood, so I just always assumed wood as material. And one reason why, if there's ever stone mines in this game, it should just provide wood, just should just rename material. So I always wonder why Prometheans would not cost wood. Plus, there's also an upgrade from now that also puts them on fire, so... And clay needs to be treated with heat, so... Makes a bit more sense if it's made of wood even further. Probably me overthinking it far too much. Heroic Momelo, not pulling field. He doesn't need too many heroes to deal because the Collage can always heal them up. It does take time. Nope, does not take out the wounded one first. But got a double kill there. And the temple has been time shifted away. Oh, what's this here? We got that's Uranus movement speed. This is surprisingly powerful. Plus 10% infantry movement speed does actually make a pretty nice difference. I haven't seen any, sky patches just yet. They only cost favor, so they're pretty cheap. Boost now established secondary town center. We do have, what's this one here? Temporal Chaos. Reduces the cost for time shifting palaces, sentry towers, and mirror towers. And increase the number of simultaneous time shift buildings. And reduces the cost of time shifting defensive buildings. Adds +2 to the maximum concurrent time shifts. I guess by default it's 1, right? So it increases the number of 3 structures you can time shift. And honestly, 3 production structures is generally an adequate amount in most situations. At least when trying to get 4 reinforcements. Carnivore has been summoned. Carnivore has no crush damage, just melee damage. I think also every single one of these whips or vines also count as a separate attack. So I think this one attack is actually 120 times 6 tentacles, right? Or vines. Heroic Momelo there, slicing apart the Carnivore, but it looks like it does not take opponent damage from heroes, since it's not classified as a myth unit. It says myth unit, so maybe it's not taking proper damage multipliers. Or maybe it was, it just wasn't paying close enough attention. We got a number of Termos here, which are going to have trouble with some Momelos. Momelos do have low range armor, but they are fast and have good DPS. Termos do not have good DPS. And right now they move the same speed as these Momelos thanks to Uranus' speed, so they are not even really mounted. He needs to get out some Cherubulus to deal with the Momelos. But the Uranus speed is incredibly useful. We got a downed elephant there. So a delicious elephant, still has good amount of food in there. Does get some villagers inside of the manors.
Herr Joes? Yuji?
Yuji?
More heroes. More Caladras being deployed in the field as well. Get some good healing. And the Caladra probably should take time to heal the Caladria. More Rhinoceros being obtained. Both sides going for a number of Momelos. Blue or red does have serrated blades, giving them a bit of bleed effect. Blue's course, Momelos are just ordinary. As opposed to these ones who have fast movement speed and bleeding blades. Momelos is inside town center because they will like to get over and get away. More Valors being deployed by blue. Time shifting watchtower to keep watch. Both sides have medium Mormellos. Red does have the shields upgrade, which is not too terribly important. As also just the shields. Trying to go for the copper weapons now. It at least will help him resist the Talon Center damage, which is a threat to him. So it's not absolutely necessary now, just somewhat nice to have. Plus blue is to point out some more and more Turmas. Blue has enough gold to age on up. Red nowhere near has enough gold to age on up. Mormellos starting to engage Mormellos. And nice hop around there. Of course, blue does not have any Caladros for healing as well. Another carnivore on the field. Promethean do get picked apart there. Shockwave there by Oranos. Oranos seems like he's very good there. Blue does have 2 counts in it, so Blue's economy is better. Blue's trying to fall back his forces there, but the Mormellos moon seems to be at the Turmas. Town Center has been and is being repaired at the moment. Red's force pushing up here. Maybe try to break open the watchtower. Crack open the hard exterior to get the nice soft chewy interior. More Valor's God Towers. Town Center slow going on down. Blue starts a superior number of villagers. Red's juicing out more Mormellos. Blue's trying to get his own Mormellos and also trying to mix some Cherry Ballista, the counter infantry unit. And Red's Caladra still just doing some good work there. And his Mormellos, what left of them, will push forward. They'll lose some of the citizens. They have done their part. And we've got a massive number of idle citizens here. A massive number. That has to be fixed. Cherry Ballista getting focused pretty badly there. Does save of Heroic Phi. Cherry Ballista getting snared by the Caladras. Watchtower being time shifted forward. Got still some idle villagers here, so our citizens. Trying to time shift everything away, may lose the barracks. Send the manor would be quite nice. Manor will go down, putting blue to close to pop cap. And also, since we've got some sky passages now going on up. Red has a very good amount of force of Mormellos. Blue is going for some more Prometheans, going for more Mormellos. And some Cherry Ballista. But right now, Blue's army is 1/4 of the size of Red's. And Red's taking the opportunity to steal some of these Gazelle. Sorry, I'm trying to get my chair right. You know, some of these villagers getting hit there. And Garg will be cracking up the manor. Citizens try to escape on out of there. Looks like he will escape on out of there. The Watchtower's being time shifted somewhere. Red has Mel's push forward, trying to get some citizens. Another carnivore now pulled in the field. Blue's Marmello's now pushed forward. Cherubs are firing away. Some of the citizens going down. Of course, the meeting won't last too long. A good number of cherubs along the flank. Blue is getting hit quite hard by the bleed effect as well. Carnivore does go down. Red is trying to fall back. I think his army is large enough to stick around. Red's also aging up the Hyperion, which will give access to Satyr. The Chaos God Power should be pretty effective as well. And this is going to try to attack from the other angle, which actually will run the Blue's army. Can't say that's a good or bad thing. Blue has a massive number of Cherub Ballista now, but his front line may need to be a little bit more healthy. They're trying to go for more Turmas, more Marmellos. Of course, Sage up. Both players age up to Hyperion. Cherub Ballista standing fighting. Blue's Morello's straight forward. Gains good damage from Red's force. Got quite a bit of good damage there by Blue. Red didn't do too much there. Now the Chaos God Power would report this formation. And as mentioned, eventually the Chaos God Power would report this formation. Caladrius gains some much needed healing there. Could just take time to get some healing going. And he has to age up, some heavy infantry's on the way, going for heavy range as well. Could have probably wait for a bit of a timing attack, get his heavy upgrades going, and then push forward, at least his heavy infantry. Doesn't really need heavy range at the moment. Terminus to take out one citizen. Make that 2 citizens. Blue's now pulling out some Contineras, some heavy cavalry. Blue's villagers take some damage there. We'll lose 1 citizens. Blue's also going to try to go for secondary town center here. Both players now have access to Chaos God Power. Red's also now trying to pull some Argus archers. And Blue's double Satyr is doing some good work against these Turmas. Blue also has a massive stockpile of favor. Maybe I'm for his age 4 myth unit. He also has almost enough resource to age on up. You could go for Argus or for the Hecate Gigantus. Both players summon Chaos there. I think it went poorly for both sides. Shockwave there onto the Cherry Ballista, very good. Carnivore on top of Cherry Ballista, I believe it can't insta-kill. Oh, can insta-kill Cherry Ballista. That was definitely a change from Gold Edition. Let's see. It's all the Mermellos. Fire Siphon, siege weapon stuff. Probably best go for Argus. Implosion's always pretty nice. Don't know if he has time to pull out 5 mirror towers to make use of that unit or structure. Continera's trying to hit these citizens. And got a good amount of damage here. The Eternals, of course, countering both these units. And Red's going for a pretty nice, good mix of units. There's multiple pals there, going for Fortified Town Center. And now we do have Atlas being deployed in the field for Argus and Implosion. We do now have Hecate being deployed in the field, get back to the Lampades, as was the Tartarus Gate. Marmel is pushed away forward. You have a good amount of defensive fortifications here. Don't know if boiling oil has been researched. Red's also pushing up here. Got a good number of Argus archers and cherry ballistas trying to engage these forces. Looks like boiling oil has not been researched by blue. Got some Contineras trying to engage. Cherry ballistas as well. Time shifting right there, but does not stop the movement entirely. Blues are now going for more Argus archers and some Marmellos. And of course, Red's going for more Argus archers as well as Marmellos, as well as Contineras. Of course, Terminus are counter range unit, which these triples are classified as range. Contineras do have plus 50% damage versus range, so they will counter the Thermos. Nice little pop there. Red still has Hecate torches, and he has plenty of favor for more chaos. Additionally, if he sees that army, he could just implode it. But honestly, chaos may be a little bit better. Red also has enough for chaos. And of course, now Tartarus Gate has been summoned. Some of these Contineras needs to be a heroic fight to help deal with this. Time shifting away some of these production structures. And there is Implosion. Blue's going to try to hold the line, let the Implosion does its work. It looks like we'll get everything. Almost everything's dead there. And since that's scattered as well, it could be easy pickings. Tartarus Gate over here, being still causing issues. Just need a handful of heroic Contineras and we'll be fine. Project's gonna have a lot of work in front of them, and Blue's not capitalizing trying to take out that army. Times which Oranos had restoration. That was Valor, not restoration. Thing is, well, Kronos almost has enough favor for another implosion, but does some of the chaos there. Both players some chaos. Oranos is out of favor. Blue has plenty though. He constructs one of the palaces. Of course, does give him a refund, but still. Arcs are just firing away. Red, of course, does not have time to fully heal himself. Argus has gone down. Caladri's getting hit, but there's 5 of them on the field, so plenty of healing there. Staying in the back line, firing away. And that's the struggles on the front line for Red. And Red does have champion infantry. Blue only has heavy, and heavy fanatics push the way forward. Oftentimes 2 damage versus infantry and versus cavalry, just not versus range.
Topos?
Red's plant more fanatics. They do offer good DPS. Blue's quick forward. Another pal squad up by Blue. Red trying to redeploy pals over here. Good number of heavy Argus archers here. Blue has good number of heavy Argus archers both. Champion Argus archers almost complete. And Blue's just maxing out fanatics. Is that Tartarus Gate still alive? Tartarus Gate is still alive. And some of these citizens are being found by these Tartarus spawn. Blue has enough for another chaos. Red is getting close. Red's gonna go for more mellows. Blue does not have more population cap than one. Contenaire is taking some of these units, just camping that town center. Fire Siphon may go down. Another chaos forward by Red. This time only on the Argus Archers, does miss over here. Fanatics do have access to good damage. Got a number of destroyers in the front line. Destroyers have pretty high range resist, and with Atlas they get even higher range resist, but he's not playing with Atlas. He went for Hecate. Temple now floor the field. He deconstructs that one. Both players trying to claim that gold deposit. And got the shortest push on the flank there with some more mellows. Those villagers migrating away. Tartan spawn causing issues here, intercepting some of these citizens. Some of these citizens are pretty wounded. And Tartan spawn does take a good number of citizens there. And they're actually just doing good damage in general, even to the full health ones. Blue has right now no army in the field. He's out of gold and even low in wood as well. Going for architects. Blue can't fix his gold situation, he will lose. I guess a good number of Mamels and Destroyers and Argus Archers, so Terminals could be quite nice, as well as Fanatics. Got Promethean being summoned as well. He's using what favor he has and what food he has to get out Promethean as a bit of desperation, honestly. They're unupgraded. And we got the Tartan spawn also taking out the temple. Tartan spawn takes out the temple there, so Tartan spawn still being very useful. Red does not have incendiary arrows just yet, and they want to get out the incendiary arrows. More Promethean spawn provided by Blue. We do now also have the Endova Prey, improving Promethean hit points by 20%, Promethean offspring hit points by 20%, and increased number of offspring by 1. But all those citizens going down, I don't know if there's any way Blue can come back. Gold's getting hit down here, got Chaos and Red, or Blue does back in the game now. This is great saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Xbox. Nope. Got an unranked, so let's probably not do that one. Nope. Nope. Xbox. Could try that one. Let's just look around for a little bit longer. Roughly same. Yeah, same map. Oh well. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age Mythology replay. As well on the right side as the Blue Prayer, we have KK. As well on the bottom left side as the Red Thor, we got Pig Dog. When it comes to this map, we do of course have relics, dwarven calipers to make your siege weapons cost less, including favor. It says siege weapons, I don't probably so not siege units or siege myth units. Black Lotus, make your villagers gather from farms 10% faster, making your later game economy better. Temple improvements are 25% cheaper, very nice, including favor. And the last one is the Canospus of Horus, makes your heroes do more bonus damage versus myth units, but a bit more effective as their role as a counter. Blue's Iron for Ullr, give access to Draugr, and probably more importantly, the Asgardian Bastion. Red is going for a forge, and maybe I'm a bit of a dwarf boom. Of course, he will have access to the short card by going for this route. Probably not a good idea to reference other genres or other games. More referencing a Warhammer, Total War Warhammer content creator who does more of just satire. Tarif, if you ever seen that channel, pretty good if you enjoy Total War Warhammer. Temple in a forward location. This may be meant for eventually eyeing for another town center. Of course, Blue is aging up. Red will have a slower age up. And it actually does have enough food right now for the age up. You can always go for the upgrades during the age up rather than before the age up. Because he had enough food right there. Oh no, he doesn't even have a temple in the field yet, does he? though he does. He could have gone for the age up before and get the research during the age up. Got the ad scouting batch now being employed in the field, so take a bit of time, but it's a free hill fort, which is nearly identically the same, but I think it's a little bit on the weaker side, which is perfectly fine. It also gives you access to an age 2 Huskarl, which you normally don't have access to that. Do now age up over here. Force City give access to trolls and the healing spring. Red is now eyeing for some berserks and can be countered out with throwing Axemans. Berserk does go down. Now looks like I got some throwing Axemen go with the Huskarls. Or Ulfsarks, I should say. Red is also taking some delicious Gazelle and Zebra. We'll grab some relics. Red has a force 4, so let's go ahead and go back to normal pace. Since we actually want to see some action. 3 Herseers here for defense. Ooh, Galen Bersetti gets a pretty good spawn there. I was not expecting him, but a good time to play it out. He was pretty severely outnumbered in this region. Pretty encounter being employed in the field while just trying to get anything out in the field at this moment. Galen Bersetti is almost down. It's pretty weak in age 2 and costs 300 favor to get it respawned. So there goes that Galen Bersetti, probably for the rest of the game. But he did stop the attack and not lost the game, so it's probably a good Galen Bersetti. Red has now stopped the healing spring there. Draugr firing away. Galen Bersetti does die from a heart attack or dysentery from the healing spring. 1 to 3. Draugr may go down. Draugr is an okay myth unit. It has the spread attack there. It has 7 base damage with Covenant's Divine. Not sure what to make of it entirely, honestly. It does give access, what's it called? Pierce damage to Norse, where they don't usually have pierce damage this age. Or in general. So one thing let's see. Oh, his magic improved. Oh, he's actually going for Revan Draugr. Let's see. Improves range and attack damage. Adds 5 range to the max for the maximum range and to the charge. So his special attack and base attack shoots farther. And it's supposed to increase his damage by 20%. So it goes from 14 to 19 range. Okay, that becomes more of a usable unit. What I was trying to say is, since when you're fighting against Norse, you can skip Pierce armor because there's not many sources of Pierce damage they can provide. This, however, does make the Draugr slightly bit more effective than normal. But now he does have the Revenant Draugr, which actually doesn't rename it.
Skip.
Oh, wait. Oh, I just had to re-click on it. And now it does have a bit more damage and divine damage. And of course, 19 range. That gets into the more, actually quite decent category. There are only 2 population. Wait. 2 population. It's not like the only other myth unit that only takes 2 populations of the automatons. So this is okay, that is actually an important part. 2 population is actually quite massive by being very small. Alright, that's one big point in favor of the Draugr. Because I'm pretty sure there's very, very few myth units in the game that has 2 population. I know in Gold Edition it was only automatons. Can't say about the Chinese faction off the top of my head. I don't know them all that well enough. This is not, they weren't in Gold Edition. And let's be frank as well, in Retold, the Chinese faction is different than it was in Extended.
Tilbuin.
This Extended Edition Chinese was horrible and a cash grab. Dwarves could have gone down there. Did not pay close enough attention there. Neither side played close enough attention there. He moved or did a move order to the gold deposit, assuming he's going to be there. He was incorrect. Red is pushing the elephant. So he shall send him to conflict. Herseer gets axed. Multiple jogger there. Look at that. A splash damage there. And they do have a pierce attack normally, so they're actually... Alright, my team has been increased of them. Of course, being in melee range and everything, not like a great positioning. But they got a very good amount of damage there. So right now, Blue didn't have much to begin with in this region. He is aging up with this town center there, so this town center goes down, his age up will be resetted. So these villagers need to get inside of the town center, let's get some extra damage on its arrows. Blue also has raiders everywhere, engaging everywhere. Blue has 62 villagers versus 45. This is going for Aegir, give access to the rock giant. Raiding cavalry engaging these various units. And Blue will complete this age up. Rock Giant will be spawned there. Ambush spawn Rock Giant. Rock Giants have high armor in all categories. Though technically in this case, crush armor is a bit low. Oh, and a taunt effect does get actually increased armor. Never mind. Got Feast of Now, get the food trickle based on Town Center as well as on Hill Fort. Including Asgardian Bastion. That's a lot of gatherers there. Gathering up the berries, so not a great source of food. Blue is actually getting pretty low on food. There are some elephants, and hyenas not a good source of food. Oh, and there's Tempest. And they have a Desperation Tempest to protect him from that. Blue needs to start trying to get some farms on the field. Blue has not much wood in the field as well. Has a good amount of food. Thank you for the follow, little dude. My apologies for butchering up your name. Asgardian Hill Fort now being deployed. Got some more Ulfsarks being put in the field as well as throwing Axemen, but Blue, like I said, push forward to the gold mine. Has some farms in the field, but I think Blue's going to be having trouble with his food income. Only has 9 villagers on food at the moment. Of course, he will get some food generation from the Asgardian Hill Fort once he gets that research going. This will include. These are renowned. Red has aged up as well. We saw the battle boar earlier. Does also have access to a very powerful god power, the flaming weapons. Watchtower here to keep watch of that stone wall going down. Or at least a wall that identifies as stone wall. Berserks engaging Berserks. The battle boar is being ripped apart here. Got a good number of Gobi here, but Blue has not really pulled out too many Draugrs, so the Gobi was overall a bad choice. Of course, they do offer a bit of favor generation. Troll throwing some rocks, trying to troll his opponent. And going for more throwing axemen, good idea versus the
Yo.
number of Ulfsarks and versus the throwing axemen. After all, throwing axes counter axes. And of course, that's also vice versa as well. Blue's going for some Ox caravans, trying to get a bit of trade going. He does have a clear path to this town center here. Should be a reasonable path, but right now is population cap right now for Blue. He needs a bit more population. Goes for another Asgardian Hill, not Asgardian Hill Fort, just regular Hill Fort there. Also gives a bit of health regen to these nearby units, which he does need. Red is taking a drink from the fountain. Got another battle boar there. And we got another battle boar on the build queue as well. Looks like Red's at pop cap as well. 140 population. Ah, thought so. He needed more housing. Ooh. That Ox Caravan's not taking a great path, meaning you get another round of wall segments. Also, not picking up gold just yet. I'm curious what the gold pickup will be like. Don't see any other Ox Caravans over here just yet. We do also have now the Servants of Glory, giving the Longhouse units more speed. And shorter bursts of speed after standing idle. So if they are standing still for a bit of time, they get a basically a sprint action. And we've got the Granite Mall there, going for some portable battering rams.
Skipan?
Ulfsarks trying to engage the Ulfsarks. They're trying to build a town center. And looks like they were actually moved ordered onto the scaffolding. Got some great Jarls. They're very fine. Plus possess a high DPS. They do have low range armor. Porting Battering Ram won't do much in this situation either. Villagers migrating off the gold deposit has seized half of it. Still has this gold deposit fully untouched. The Rock trying to advance way forward. There's a good number of Gobi there to rip it apart though. Hill Fort will go down. Guys on the fall back there, throwing Axemen. And looks like this town center will be built. And we've got some battle boars there. Looks like Red's eyeing for more berserks. The troll is still alive. The troll is no longer alive. And looks like Red's just trying to fall back there. The number of gatherers here needs to fall back as well. So it takes advantage of various sources. Red still has a healing spring, but when some of these structures start going down, he should be able to seize it. He gets some forward healing there. Battle boars hitting over here. Got another battle boar here as well. Got a very good battle boar, and they're good against all the small infantry units. They'll buff around, knock them all around. A couple Gobi here to stop the battle boars. This battle boar, if he can fall back a little bit there to avoid the Gobi fire, but looks like they have retargeted towards another battle boar. Gobi is throwing extra forward. Do have a Dwarven gold mine put up by Thor. It is an 8-3 gold mine, so it has about 3,000 gold if I remember correctly. Portable battery ram for 4. They're only really good versus structures. They offer very poor melee damage. Those honestly compared to a lot of counters, it's not too bad. Though they do have horrible melee armor, 10%. And we got a good number of these Ulfsarks to record. Simple accident here. Right, you're all getting buffed around. And Blue has a good amount of forward production there. Blue's going for a good amount of Gobi to deal with the battle boars, as well as throwing axemen. You have the Yaldir research. Enable portable grinding rooms to age earlier, as well as increases the research on warp rate of fortresses to make them produce faster. Looks up levy, 9 waves, hero speed, sea trucking speed. and has queued up Vidar to get access to Fafnir and to the Inferno. So here we do have Baldur, get access to Fire Giant, one of my favorite myth units in the game, which is a very good backline myth unit. And of course we got Ragnarok. Red starting to push way forward. Tug of War is going in favor of red. Of course, got multiple hill forts there. I wonder if blue has bowling oil. Wide upgrades, so it does have bowling oil. So these All-Star's going to have some big problems. In the Ox Cart there. You have another Battle Boars pretty forward. These Battle Boars are pretty good. Maybe keep them back there just get a little bit of health regen going. They do offer 20 crush damage though, help engage these hill forts. Now red has one of his own portable batting rams. Good number throwing axe in the back line, protect some of these hill forts. And this one did get a research, but I believe that was the passive warp rate. Another Asgard and Bastion summoned up north, I think. Got throwing axe and just causing issues. That's what it puts up there. Now got the Fire Giant. Battle Boars buck around. We've got some emergency watchtowers. Champion research by red. Blue's now age on up. They've got got the Inferno. A lot of damage, but nothing too significant. I think he was thinking there's a group of villagers there on the tree deposit, so I think he targeted the tree deposit. Overall, don't think that was a very good one. Not like he can finish off those buildings right now, because right now he's on the defense. A very good on Battle Boars. I do believe more Fire Giants is a bit better, but that's just my opinion. Fire Giants do offer 15 crush damage as well, so they do have some access to a bit of range crush damage, so they're good against structures as well, or reasonable, I should say. As reasonable as like a melee infantry versus structure. The number go over here, of course, got multiple Asgard and Bastions. This one, I think, was freshly built. Red's breaking his way forward now. Up here. Oh, those from the X-Men are create a bit of infestation. Fafnir is overstated, so should be able to deal with these structures. He let that go on for too long and became a bit more of an issue. Ready to put another gold mine. And these Ox Caravans are providing 100 gold per trip, so that's a pretty good trade path there. So you can really try to keep it. Best towns are alive. Not to mention the fact that it provides population. It's also a fortified town center. Being whittled down pretty quickly there. Multiple fire giants being on the front line. The town center has gone down. Red trying to seize that town center there. He only has heavy infantry at the moment. It looks like he's not going for champion. Oh no, he does have champion. Oh, that's right. Color scheme. The color code on the map is backwards. Got components to research, improving caravan speed, definitely increasing income. by approximately 20%. Large number of longhouses there. He does not have too much backline production here, so this is a bit of a problem right now. Blue has a very large stockpile of gold, wood, and some food. Nothing too much there. Throwing Axe is probably his best choice right now. He just needs something on the field, and Throwing Axe will just be a counter to the Berserks. They will have trouble versus the Myth units though, since they're more of a counter unit. Fafnir advancing. Fafnir is getting ripped apart though. He's all by himself lonesome. Gobi and the extra forward. Some of these units just move forward there. Gobi, of course, needs to be marked to hit the Myth units. Flame weapons by Red. That's what we're great hope about Red. Red's going to try to close the game now thanks to flame weapons, and these Berserks have 26 DPS. And Blue has hit the resign button, this Android saying, thanks for watching, and on to the next replay. Probably have time for one more replay tonight. Hopefully I can find a good one. Let's see now. Go from the bottom. See any clan tags? Pretty sure this person was recently raided. Yep, let's do that one. The Mongol Fox shall spectate the Ice Fox. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age of Mythology replay. Spawn on the north side as the blue patron goddess. We got Navi? Or is it going to be some sort of weird backwards spelling name? Not sure. And spawn on the south side as the red Hades. We got Ice Fox DOD. Which I'm pretty sure DOD is a clan tag for deities of death? Or dead? I think? Can't remember. I know one of them invited me to the server. But of course, the server's basically locked down like most servers, so I can't upload share content there in the designated share content tabs. And it's exclusive clubs when it comes to most of the Discord servers. We do have, of course, a obelisk here to torment his opponent.
Enito.
Or, since it's the patron goddess, her opponent. We do have, of course, Flood of Now, get one food trickle right. More rhinoceros being seized, and of course got the alternative to the Nile. 135 gold, 8 favor, 200 wood, 15 favor, 1 food trickle, 2 gold favor, gold trickle. So, the Vault of Erebus is better, but more expensive. And also provides gold, which is going to be more useful in the long run. We do now have Ares being deployed in the field. Ares does offer a decent number of upgrades as well to support our infantry, as well as some Cyclopes you can get out in the field. Cyclopes actually got a bit of a nerf from Gold Edition, since Cyclopes used to, when they threw a unit, it will be instant kill, as well as doing damage to everything it lands nearby. Now it just only does good damage. Got Bast here to give access to the Sphinx. The Egyptian Sphinx, which is different than the Greek Sphinx, which is something that does not exist in the game. But both of the mythologies actually do have their own version of Sphinx. I'm pretty sure the ones that tells riddles is actually more of the Greek Sphinx than the Egyptian Sphinx. And I think the Greek Sphinx also has wings, as opposed to has the human face. So I need to look at the differences between the two. Ajax here, taking on the priest. Cyclops here. And the priests are angry at Ajax, so they're going to try to stone him to death. There's the Sphinx now pulling the field. And of course now the priests actually have a little bit more damage. When I say little more, they still have pretty low DPS. They're a counter unit, like most of the Egyptian, or all the Egyptian Age 2 units. Boring Myth units. The Sphinx can be a pretty nice unit, and Game Snare there has same moves, has same base move speed as Achilles, but of course every slice there does cause a bit of a snare effect, because since melee, all melee units in the game has a slight snare effect, and great focus heal there, very good. The Sphinx can get to a decent move speed. Can't they get like up to like 5.5? I think maybe 5.6 move speed if they're fully upgraded. Achilles trying to engage the villagers. Villagers trying to shank Achilles. Go for the Achilles tendon. Of course, Ajax and the Cyclops here. This is not looking good for the Egyptian player. Trying to force heal that one villager. Trying to really. The villager does go down. Pharaoh's empowering the build and get everybody inside. Does save. Got 18 versus 23 villagers. So looks like maybe blue killed or red killed off a good number of at least 5 villagers. Looks like. But red does also have town center as well. So. I have not been paying attention too much to the number of villager deaths, but overall great engagement there by red. You now have the Eclipse available, of course, for the Patron Goddess. The reason why I say the name Patron Goddess, and I also got the idea from Giant Grant Games, is because this name can be flagged by the YouTube algorithm, and last thing I want to do is my channel to be flagged even further, because Steel Division also flagged my channel because the word division. And Steel Division, for those who don't know, is a World War II RTS by the same creators, by Eugen, the same creators as the War Game series. It's effectively a World War II war game. Got a decent number of research there. Got some spearmans being pulled in the field. Counter cavalry units. They're also a bit more of a journalist unit. The most journalist unit that the Egyptians can deploy out on the field.
Into you.
Definitely more like a counter unit though, with times 0.5 multiplier. But they do offer 5 movement speed as well, so they're pretty responsive. And movement speed is... Oops, sorry, hit my microphone pretty hard there. Movement speed is quite important in order to just make sure they can connect with stuff. Which I don't think I need to really explain with that. But there's a decent number of upgrades that can make them pretty nice. I know they can at least get the 5.3 movement speed based on some upgrades. I can't remember what exactly. Achilles does have the relic there. It is the relic for improving his food economic research by additional 5%, which is a pretty nice relic. And these wounded villagers. Another one goes down there. So a very good pick there by those 2 spearmans.
And which?
Obelisk going on up. Cyclops here, and the priest should start stoning the Cyclops to death. Aim for the eye. Aim for the eyes, or I mean eye. Pegasus there.
In which?
And of course, since he's not Poseidon nor Hermes, this is a manually built Pegasus, which is always a good idea. It's such a very nice scouting unit.
Gary.
A flying scout is just very useful.
And which?
Or Ajax stabbing some of these priests here. Cyclops getting hit, stoned to death. Divine Stone. Spin the wind from the Sphinx there, and does try to back away from Ajax. Spearman trying to engage Ajax, snaring him.
Into
More spearmans there, pursuing the villagers, the laborers.
Enito.
And Ajax going to take time and start stabbing the priests to make them extra holy. And Ajax, I think, just got himself trapped right there. And he's going to just do a combat heal to make sure his units don't go down. Very nice. More spearmen now being employed in the field by blue. Looks like I got most of the spearmen composition, so red should probably eye for some Toxidays. Of course, you will need to age up to get the Hypastus. I don't know why. Some of these words sort of just start make me tongue twist. Like, I think I was trying to say Ajax up. Age up. Oh, looks like these guys have a bit of a missed rally. Blue gets that fixed. And red right now is at 42 villagers, so it looks like blue did a good job calling villagers. Maybe blue or red had trouble with food income. His food stockpile is relatively low. Good gold stockpile. Blue, however, has good stockpile both, but barring wood, which doesn't really need much wood at the moment. So right now he has 2 wood chips. Some exotic doggos going down. They are not a good food source. They have what, 125 food in store? Yep. So those will be eaten pretty quick, but luckily the granary, of course, is free. So you can always just build one out there. Goats being brought back home. They're, of course, the goat. And red has gone for early farms. Should anyone try to avoid going for farms? You do collect up slow from that. Does he have the Black Lotus card? No. He has the Eye of Orlun. Orlu, how to pronounce that. And that's the wolf name for Age of Empires wolf. It says eye, but that's clearly a sword. Is the eye kebabbed on a sword? We do now have Pegasus going down there. The patron goddess is aging on up. You have access to Scorpion Man, but it's also probably more importantly meant for the ancestors to go on both the eclipse. Also some other research there, which I can never remember. Over here we've got Aphrodite, give access to Nemean Lion. And I do remember the golden apple makes your villagers provide more favor income when worshiping after the temple, making it your composition more fun. That is not an adequate military force. Cyclops throws the spearmen. Or, nope, he just decides just to toss it behind him. Unless it got caught up in the lake. Hypasus, not even meeting Hypasus perfect forward. Burst there, very nice. But of course, which will give him some good food income eventually. Achilles, the Pharaoh has gone down. Ajax and Achilles trying to steal the Scorpion Man. Achilles does get poisoned death, which actually is more accurate. There's always different retellings when it comes to Achilles, how he died. It's the Achilles tendon, and it's usually a poison arrow to the Achilles tendon. It's the common retelling, if I remember correctly. Or it was a mythic bow from Apollo, right? Apollo's bow? Can't remember. There's always a lot of variations when it comes to Achilles. It's always, of course, involving the Achilles heel. And there's also different retellings like, oh, he wore armor that protected everything but his heels, the Achilles tendon. And there's other retellings where it's his mother, which was a goddess, Achilles was a demigod, and dipped Achilles into, was it river Styx? And of course she held him up by the Achilles tendon. And he got dipped as a baby. Can't remember exactly. We got Ancestors plus Eclipse now being deployed. I was using that 1-2 punch combo. The minions have 10 damage with good attack speed, so they have what, 12 DPS? Yep, 12 DPS. Trying to focus on the villagers. Got Chiron now point field, as well as another Achilles. And over here we do have another advance of spearmen into the walls. What are the upgrades they have? Right now they're just medium and copper upgrades. No minor god upgrades on them. Or major god for that matter. We do also have the Sentinels over here, helping protect them against the Spearmen. Sentinels mostly meant to protect yourself from raiders, but Spearmen is the highest siege unit in the game, so the Sentinels would do quite well here. And a good number of firing is focused on some individual villagers. Toxates, Achilles, Hypastus, so got a decent chunk of force here to expel these units. The Sphinx will likely go down, and it goes down to Achilles. And I thought I heard a siege weapon go down. Oh, no, chariot archers have been subbed out by blue. Good number of chariot archers. Toxates will be generally still useful against the chariot archers. They're not a counter unit, but archer versus archer is still quite decent. Hypaxis, of course, still be useful against spearmen, but they will have trouble versus the chariot archers. We do get a bit of bonus damage versus them. We also got a camel rider there. Nemean lion and ripped apart there. And again, that spearman gets thrown behind them. And that one gets probably thrown into the giraffes. Good number of chariot archers in the field, but they're getting pretty wounded. Spearman front line has disintegrated. Maybe some axe would be a little better. He's going for some camel riders who are being chucked. That one bounced off the tree. And the Cyclopes all have gone down. Yes, that's actually the proper plural term for Cyclopses. Cyclopes. A bit of healing there is of course required. Two priests going to have a lot of work in front of them. They're all pretty wounded. Red has 3 more Cyclopes being queued on up. He has got an Elder Cyclops upgrade. Which, let's see, increases throw damage area and melee attack damage area. So now they have good AoE, making them more effective for infantry and small targets in general. So anti-foot soldier. Of course, Hades, if he ages up again, can get access to his unique crossbow and help siege down structures at a good range. More chariot archers and camel riders being employed in the field, and some free shades. They're not great, but they're free. Rio Sphinx up in point of field. Looks like an eye for more Sphinx. We also have now the sun-dried bricks, improving building hit points, gold cost, and reduced building time. Good for those mid-gold strongholds. Hades unable to afford the heavy upgrades, so going for heavy range now. Had it queued up, now actually able to get it. Hoplites push way forward. Pharaoh and Priestess escape on out into the mid-gold stronghold. Cyclops are nice and all, but they have 800 health? That's a little bit more than I remember. 800 health makes them actually very durable. And they're going to need to be durable to deal with all these chariot archers. Got some cult tasks help engage them. Villagers migrating somewhere. Pestilence now being poured in the field. Which, that should disable production, right? Oh! Slows unit production rather than stops it now. Okay, so it got reworked from Gold Edition. It also disables their arrows. Okay. It reduces, but it doesn't reduce their damage. It reduces the number of arrows fired down to 0 arrows. So that helps. That's how this works. So they're still technically firing, but at 0 arrows. So yeah, Pestilence actually got reworked. Did not realize that. It actually got nerfed. Because disabling production is actually incredibly powerful. Other Cyclops do offer good crush damage as well. I wonder, I don't remember this increasing their health. It doesn't say increased health, so... Some sort of, they must always have that health. You actually don't really see Cyclops too much. Spearman gets chucked. Camel Rider gets chucked. And overall, it seems like Blue's in a good position, but so is Red. Blue's slowly getting worked on down, but Red's force is having trouble staying power, honestly. Mid-goal Stronghold still firing away, getting out more trade archers. Red's starting to break on through. Red has almost a pop cap. Blue has more population available, but nowhere near pop cap. Wait. Cyclops get affected by ballistics? So the throwing ability is now heat-seeking? I never knew that. Okay, that's sort of funny. Okay, Cyclops. Track him. They must have been talked by, what's his name again? How did I forget the antagonist? Why can I not remember the antagonist? The Cyclops antagonist. Another pestilence upon the field, very nice. And Blue's already having trouble remaxing, so this is going to be a very, very good push. In fact, Townsend's getting ripped apart thanks to all the Cyclopses. And they also AoEing down all the farms. That's actually very nice. Villagers taking some decent amount of damage there. Gargarensis. I also really hate how the previous voice actor was incredibly good, but then the recast was not that great. Cyclops being picked on off. Blue has stabilized, has less villagers at the moment. Needs to rebuild the town center and the army. As playing population space, has a pretty good queue of units on the field, has one Townsend on the field, and this rally is still a problem. Shades will be engaged.
Into you.
And got some medium axiom there. Priest's gonna have a lot of healing in front of them. And we got the Pharaoh also empowering the town center, very nice. Let's see now, 102 military units. Oh, so Red's actually having trouble remaxing, and Red just aged up and decides to help fix his economy by building up plenty vaults. While I save enough favor for a second plenty vault, I always think you should go for 2 plenty vaults at a minimum. Champion infantry. We got now the Bobo Spear of Panic. Increasing heavy hoplites adds 1 divine damage to hoplites, very nice, and to Prodromos as well, the counter cavalry unit. That's actually pretty good. I didn't realize the effect of Prodromos as well. And we've got also the Bow of Horror. Talk stays, increase your just increase your talk stays damage by 10%. Also cause your arrows to fly incredibly quickly, so projectile speed increase. Not sure if that's, I don't see it as an applied effect, but I wonder if that actually works. And look at that AoE damage. Look at that. AoE damage is just anti-foot soldier. Look at that. It's also splashing down the town center, destroying good number of farms, and costs 7 gold. They're not cheap, but they're not terribly expensive, but still. Elder Cyclops is actually pretty good at pillaging farms, apparently. And there's a Colossus there. How did the Colossus get there? And the Colossus has no AoE damage. I really think some of these giant units just need AoE damage by default. At least 1 AoE. Now we do have Osiris being researched, give access to the mummy, which is going to be pretty good actually versus all these foot soldiers. The AoE effect is very nice. Of course, got the Son of Osiris, probably my favorite god power in the game. A good number of axemen here. Some accident of sort of being a bit stupid there, not push away forward. But I think Elder Cyclops smashed to the front line with the AoE damage.
Get ready.
Of course, also the Hawk Lights are supercharged, being champion one divine damage as well, bypassing all that armor of one divine damage. Always hard to calculate that, but I think overall the Elder Cyclops ripped apart the formation of the AoE damage. I think that's what happened there. The Son of Osiris has been summoned. Where exactly, I'm not sure. Where's the Son of Osiris? Oh, I hear it. Didn't see it. Oh, there he is. Son of Osiris getting hit there. The divine damage should be particularly useful against the Son of Osiris. Another mission literally getting hit by everything. And Cyclopes have good durability, and the Son of Osiris has gone down, and Blue has resigned. There's Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay for tonight. So everyone, thank you for watching. Have a good evening, and get some good rest. Enjoy.